Hello, hello. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Hello. Let's see, test. Hello. Hello. Please tell me you can hear me now. As corner, please tell me. Can you hear me? I've been yapping. Hey, Estes Corner. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I gotta restart. I've been just yapping, yapping, yapping. Can you hear me? Whew. Thank you. All right. So welcome, welcome. Tiffany, can you hear me? I'm so sorry about I apologize. Here, please get the blinds. All right. Awesome. Thank you. I've been yapping for 10 minutes. That's terrible. Turn the light on. I've been yapping for 10 minutes and I thought you could hear me. And I apologize about that. I've been great. Thank you so much. So let me get the show started. Let me go ahead and introduce again. Oh my goodness. I've been talking all this while. So thank you so much for tuning into episode 2 of One with Ejeni, where we intend to awaken you, inspire you, motivate you, and just hopefully change your life to be better. Okay, that's what we hope to get from this live. And it's every Friday at 6 p.m. Meet me here. I appreciate you being here. Some Fridays I'm going to have guests. Last week we had my teenage son who spoke about, teenagers and parents and what to do as parents and understanding your kids, which was really phenomenal. And I've been really happy about the feedback. So thank you all that came last week. This Friday is just me talking about a topic that I really, 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 really that I'm really passionate about, and that's toxic relationship. Either you guys have heard about it, or you've been, or you experienced it, or you don't know about it. So this is the first time, and I was reading off of my girl Google of the definition of a toxic relationship. And feel very free to add. Feel very free to come online if you want to talk. I'll send you the link so you can contribute. That would be really amazing. Yes, Esther Scorer says, "How have you been?" I've been great. I've been great. Just trying to balance YouTube and life and stuff. It's not easy. Thank you, Tiffany. I had to go to settings, and you know how those things are. You're a techie, so you would have known what's happening. And I did the tests and everything before I came on, and it was working. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so hey, I was talking about toxic relationships. Either you've been in one, we've been in one, or some of us are in one. Some of us may get in one. I hope not after the show. Or you know somebody who was in one. So let's just talk about it. It's not a particularly female show. It's just a show to empower, awaken, inspire, and motivate you. So I'm excited because I'm passionate about talking about this. How people can go from falling in love to or falling in lust in lust and ending up having a toxic relationship. So I was trying to define it. So let me look at my girl here, my girl Google, and how she defines a toxic relationship, right? So a toxic relationship is defined as any relationship characterized by behaviors on the part of the toxic partner that are emotionally and not in. Okay, I don't understand all that big English. So my own definition okay, let me ask you guys first before I go to Google and ask her. What do you like? I have Tiffany Chanel on here. I have Esther's Corner. Welcome everybody. What would you define as a toxic relationship? I think let me start with there, and then I would go to what Google says, and then what I say. It might all be the same, but what would you guys define as a toxic relationship? Like I said, it could be from your personal experience or somebody you're close to, or what you heard. So I'll wait for you guys to respond while I look for the right one. I had it here and then I lost it. Can you guys hear me clearly? Let me make it loud enough. Is there a lag between StreamYard and YouTube? We still have three amazing people on the live. Sister Trio, thank you for being here. Tiffany and Esther's Corner. Share me out, would you guys please? Thank you so, so much. We need all the engagement we can get. So I was asking you, if anybody knows how to define toxic relationship, go ahead and share it. Share it here. So a toxic, to me personally, before I go to Google, or let me look for it here. A toxic relationship, in my opinion, is any relationship that you cannot be yourself. There's verbal abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse. There's lack of appreciation, where it's not making you a better person, right? There isn't love there, or the love there is defined by the negatives that are happening in it. That's what I define as a toxic relationship, where there's no growth. Is either is all take and no give, and one person or both people are feeling drained based on being unhappy, right? Um, Lack of trust in a relationship is also, I think, is, hey girls, I'm live. Jojo, I'm live, and you guys are really loud. Can you guys hear me? I think you guys are like, either you guys are, is there a lag or? Before we really start getting into it, how are y'all doing? How are you guys doing today? It's a Friday. What did I type over here? It doesn't even make sense. Are you guys still there? A toxic relationship is, always has a hostile atmosphere. Somebody's scared. Somebody's not being themselves. It's a relationship where you cannot be yourself, your true self. You can't just be. You can't just take a deep breath and really take it in and release it. You know, um, it's so imbalanced. It's so imbalanced. And I will touch on this ones that I'm talking about. So why do we get ourselves into those toxic relationships? Because I know it starts as, okay, I'm in love, I love you, you love me, and we're living life. But at what point does it go toxic? Like, what makes the individuals change in the relationship? What is the reason somebody changes? Like, what happens to great and then goes down? Why is that? Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. So Tiffany Chanel says, "Hey sis, I can hear you. I'm here to help you with your hours. I'm cooking and working for my job now. I know. Thank you so much, sis, for being here." Yes, Tiffany Chanel says toxic relationships are just unhealthy. That's the short, easy, simple way. And Esther's Corner says toxic relationships can be when someone is constantly bringing you down, emotionally, physically, physical abuse, and so unbalanced. Wonderful ladies, I'm telling you, that's it. Hey, Cook with Ryo, how are you? How you doing, girl? Thank you so much for being here. So, Cook with Ryo, the topic here is toxic relationships, and I was asking people to define what they feel, what you define as toxic relationship. It's just, thank you, ladies, for all that you've said, but I think it's just, if you are not yourself in a relationship, you cannot be yourself. You cannot what's the word? You cannot relate anymore to your partner in a positive way. You cannot think of positive things in the relationship or about the relationship or about that person, right? I think things as tiny as using curse words at each other when you're angry, like saying you're an idiot or the B word or the N word, all those stuff. When once you start using that, to me, I think there's some relationships though that those using those words make them feel close. I don't know, so I don't even know such relationships. I swear I don't, but I believe it's out there. If you say shut up or shut the up to me when you're upset, that's the beginning of disrespect and disregard, because you know what I mean? If I would never think of, like my husband right now, no matter how much we fight, I can never think of in my brain to call him an idiot or to say he's stupid, like those words like you're stupid. I know those are really minor, but if I start to think that, sis, it's over then. Like it's so now we know what. Hey, Cook with Ryo, do you have any idea what you think is a toxic relationship? We already know toxic is a bad word. Everything bad is toxic. So toxic is something not good for you. Being in a toxic relationship is a situation just not for you. Simple and short. And I watch a lot of movies and I watch a lot of shows. Like when you watch Inyala Get My Life, or what is it? Inyala Trust My Life, I forgot. Inyala Get My Life, or Inyala something. You can see just some unhealthy stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be man and woman. It can be father and daughter. I see, listen, there it I it breaks my heart to see, and I've gone through that before, where for example, you're all in love, and oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, he's so cute, he's singing. And the very first day, oh my God. Now, Cook with Raya just hit the nail. All three ladies hit the nails on the head. And then Cook with Raya came with a big nail to cover those other nails, and she just said it. Any relationship where you feel suffocated, boom, period. Go home. That's it. Any relationship for real that you feel suffocated, you don't feel like yourself, you feel unbalanced, it's unhealthy, right? You're bringing me down, I'm bringing you down. And I mean, for example, I watched the movie last night, Nigerian movie. Whew, I was depressed for the guy. The guy was important, or he couldn't perform in the bedroom, and he lovingly told his wife. She flipped. You know what she told him? Listen to me. He told his wife, he wasn't always that way, but there was a backstory to his impotency or his lack of, action in the bedroom, for lack of a better word. So he came to her and said, "Sweetheart, thank you, ladies, for that contribution. Thank you so much." He said, "Sweetheart, see, I know, at night or during the day, I'm not as, as we used to be. But here's what I notice is happening. I feel it, but I just like what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling is not connected to, to the dude over there." And she didn't take it like a mature person. Girl, like Tiffany was saying. She started calling her husband a lady. And she changed, and she was so disrespectful, and she was so abusive, and she was so mean and evil and just devilish to the guy because he said he couldn't perform. You know what she told him? She said, "I don't perform lesbians acts. I don't perform in lesbians acts, so I cannot be in our matrimonial bed with you since you've become a woman." I'm like, okay, I'm going home. You know what I mean? I thought that was mean. And that was the beginning of being toxic. I can talk about that movie all day, right? and what she did. And then somehow it turned around. He went to church, got delivered. He realized it was some voodoo done to him back in the days or whatever, and that's what happened to him. God delivered him. Guess what? He got better, and she couldn't say anything anymore. She started apologizing. So I'm asking now, apologizing to the next topic. Some ladies here are married, not married, single, been married, whatever. What mean stuff can your partner say to you now that you're wise, older, independent, self-confident? What one thing, it could be very little, can your partner do to you that will make you say, that's it? Just verbal or in action. For me, it's hitting me. That's not small. You touch me, it's over. You can't apologize for that, right? And then using the B word, because I've been called out before, it's not going to work. Because if you think of me as a B word and you're supposed to use that same lips or mouth to say you love me, it doesn't correlate. It doesn't have any relationship. Yeah. Go ahead and thumbs up the stream, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. So anyway, let me go back to Google so I don't digress, okay? But I love this topic. So a toxic relationship is any relationship, like they've said, that's unhealthy, period. Is a relationship where you lose yourself. Esther Score, okay, no problem. I hope you can hear me though. No problem. Are you at work? Any relationship where you lose yourself, lose your self-esteem, lose who you know you are, right? But because it's suffocating and because it's unhealthy and because you're being abused emotionally or being brought down, you cannot be yourself. It is a toxic relationship, and you have to decide for your life what you need to do, because toxic relationship is unhealthy for your health. It's not good. Listen, no. Even shut up when the partners are upset, to me, is a big deal. My kids think shut up is a big, oh my God, that's a bad word. I'm training them that way because I don't easily just say shut up. When I tell them shut up, which I apologize when I say it, is because I've warned them so many times, like, be quiet. But even that, I go back and apologize. Oh my God. You are here with me. Can I get some, girl? Esther's Corner, what are you making? Yeah, saying shut up, get out, all those things. It might be small, but to me, I think it's a big deal. If we love each other and we respect each other, you have no business telling me those things. You have no business. No. Like when you tell me shut up, or like I said, I've been called the B word before, you cannot come back and say I love you. It doesn't, see, it's like, I don't know, it's like oil and water to me. I don't believe you anymore because I know it sounds childish, but just like people calling each other the N word, I'm not an N word. I am not. Why would you say you love me? We're in a relationship and then you call me an N word? Maybe that's how you've been in your other relationships, or you think it's making you look cool. No, you're not calling me that. Pasta, nice. I don't think I've ever made dinner. Like today's like freestyle dinner for the kids and I. They're eating like this pandemic. They're eating cereals, baked potatoes. You know me, how I can make up stuff. So I've been making up all kinds of things for them to eat. I made something for my husband to go to work today. I think I'm gonna repeat that and post it. It was so good. It can't work. I'm telling you. You know how like you're in love and stuff, and you guys have your first fight, and he says something so minor, and you're so hurt. I'm still like that. I'm a crybaby, and there's certain things my husband would do, and I don't expect it in that manner, in that way. I cry, not for him to come say sorry to me, but I'm like, why, right? Why those words? Why that way? Why me? You know? But anyway, I think people, and that, so moving from the definition and dissecting it to, ooh, pasta, share with me, girl. You're making me hungry now. I'm trying to lose some weight, so I just had chicken. I just got out chicken from the stew and just ate that, but I'm still hungry. That's the problem. Weight, my weight, fat will not let me be great. Cook with Raya, what do you mean? What do you say? Why? Yeah, right. Yes. Why would you say that to me? If you see me how I see you, and you have to dissect my brain, you would see that all those negative words are not aligned with you or how I think about you. I think the best of you. I think the best for you. And I would never think in that way or treat you that way. So why would you do that? So the why, yeah, I got you. The why, right? Like why? I've had, whew, yes. So yeah, it's tough. It is, relationships are really tough. But adding to that, why do you think, like right now, do you know that there are, I think I'm gonna have episode 3 as a continuation of this, and I may have to have somebody come on. And if any of you want to add, let me know. I'll send you a link so you can add. For those that are gonna come back and replay this show or this live, it will be really, 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 really beneficial to them. I just wonder why we get ourselves. How do women get ourselves in these things? You know what? Let me revert. Let me rewind to what I was saying. You know, they're teenagers now. Like if you watch, like I used to watch. Where's that show? DNA show? No, what's it called? The DNA show. The judge DNA. Where who is the father? Paternity test or paternity show. I used to watch that show. I stopped watching it because I was getting emotional and I was getting angry, and it was just negative energy for me. You would see 17-year-old girls, 18-year-old girls come on that show and have just had a baby. And I don't know if any of you just go watch like one episode. For the young ones, the teenagers who come on and have just had a baby or has a baby by a guy, another teenager. For example, this is just teenagers. And he comes on there and he's throwing all these bad words at her. You guys have to go to YouTube and watch it. And he throws all this, I mean, he's abusing her, calling her names. I'm not the father of your child. You go check out who you slept with, blah, 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 doing all the head stuff. And she's over there. Initially, she starts out cussing back at him. And they're blipping, blipping, the cuss words. And the guy's still talking, and the judge will say, can you hold up a second? Can she say why she thinks it's you? And she says, because he's the only one I've been with. He said he loves me. We're having a relationship. My mom disapproved, but because he loves me, blah, 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 fell for him. And I got pregnant. He denied me, said it wasn't me for whatever reason he has. And she starts by being, very confident in her speaking. I know it's him. I know it's him. Da, da, da. And the guy's over there cursing her out. And the judge asked, "Is that how you guys are?" She's like, "Yes." "Do you think he loves you?" She said, "Yes." He was using the most foul words and calling her all kinds of names. He called her a, you know what? I mean, any name you can think of. This is teenagers. I don't even curse that much at my age. I don't even curse that much at my age, And to see that, and I'm trying to imagine how they are off camera. And guess what? He came with his new girlfriend. And this baby she had is 2 months old. She was at 17 or 18. My heart was bleeding for her. Guess what? She's a girl who was in foster care and aged out. And when she got out, because she was going to high school, when she got out and she aged out of high school or whatever, this was the first guy that she met and who liked her or whatever. And she was trying not to sleep around or whatever. And she happened, and then he acted like he loved her. So since she hasn't, and this makes me emotional, since she hasn't known what love is, that was love for her. The way he talks to her and treats her and cheats on her. I mean, he had absolutely no respect for her. She didn't have anywhere to go. That's who she knows. So whatever he throws at her, she just takes it. And eventually, in that courtroom, she broke down just bawling. She breaks down like bawling her eyes out. And the judge was like, you know what? You came in here all confident, blah, 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 blah. You know what? To end this whole charade. And to me, the baby doesn't look like the kid. So I don't know what to believe, because that paternity show it can go anywhere. You can see a baby look like a guy so much, and then the baby comes out, it's not his. And the judge said, you know what? Let's do the test and then sort this out. So they asked the girl, if it's not his, what would you do? She's like, she won't know what to do because she has never been with anybody else. That's the only person she's been with, right? The guy was like, oh, liar, liar. I mean, he would not stop. The judge had to tell him to quit or take a break or go outside and chillax. And his girlfriend was with him saying, no, no, yeah, baby, no, the head banging and head twisting and stuff. And she was just, in my mind, I was just like, oh my God. That is a toxic relationship to start with. So look at her background. She's been to so many foster homes. First of all, that makes you feel like, I don't even know what you feel. I cannot imagine the mentality of kids in foster homes or people who have been in foster homes. I cannot imagine it. And I always try to pray for them or say a prayer or just kind of just feel empathy for them. So they did the test. And guess what the test says? First of all, he will not pay child support, said he's not his. When she was giving birth to the baby, he didn't go because he said he's not his. So imagine this. I think she's 17 or 18. Young, this is a child. And already in a toxic relationship, on top of not being shown love anywhere. First of all, she was adopted and she was given back, and she has gone to foster home to foster home. Not because she was badly behaved, but she just felt, first of all, she feels unwanted. Now she's with this dude that feels like he loves her and he's providing whatever it is to her that made her feel whole. I know she cannot feel whole, but she doesn't know any better because only God knows what happened to her, because that was not what the show was about. The show was about finding paternity for her child. But I just wish I could, like, I want to talk to such kids. And if I had all the money in the world, it's just to have them reinvent their lives and transform them. That's I would love to do that. And let these ladies or these kids know, or these women or these people know that they're loved and they're worth it. That girl was probably feeling so worthless. I don't want to get emotional because I was like, well, I just had to stop watching that show because it's so real. Even though it's reality TV, it's so real. So imagine this girl going through what she's gone through, kept her virginity because that's the only thing she thought she could keep to herself. Minus all the probably abuses she's gone through to the adoption homes and the foster homes and all that stuff. And she aged out. So imagine how abandoned she feels. So she has a big hole in her heart. She's probably feeling broken, probably feeling like crap, probably feeling like under the earth, right? And why I say she feels under the earth was after coming in confident and cursing at him, because that's what she's used to doing. She just, like, there's some words that he was throwing her, going, a liar, liar, liar. Look at you, was calling her a whore. All this, I mean, there's some words that he was calling her that they had to bleep up. They just had to. He was so sure that she was a whore. This is an 18-year-old girl. And she's saying, the judge asked her again, before we read the test results, are you sure there hasn't been any hanky-panky? She said she has been very faithful to him. That's the only relationship she's had. She tried to keep herself to herself. He disvirgin her, blah, blah, blah. That he's the only one she's been with. He's cheated on her. He's da-da-da. He hits her too. He's physically abusive towards her. She doesn't have a mom to go to, or a dad, or his elder brother. Anybody. She has no one to go to. So she's in this world by herself, for herself. Here comes the paternity result. And guess what? The damn fool is the father of the baby. She broke, I can feel her right now. She literally fell to the floor. Normally the show, the women would say, I told you, I told you. She just fell on the floor and he went silent. The judge just put her head down. And all I could think about is going into the TV, picking up that girl and her baby and bringing them to my house. That's all I can imagine. That may not solve or close that hole in her heart, because now she has emotional scars. She has a hole. How will she walk away? She's already having a heart. 18 years old. What kind of job will she have to be able to pay for child care? He's, I think, 19 or 20 or 21 or whatever. What kind of a job is he going to have with the kind of English he speaks? What kind of a job will he have? You know what I mean? What kind of a job will he have to take care of that baby and her? But he doesn't really care about her. The whole court went silent. Went silent. And the judge asked him, now, what are you going to do? He's like, well, he's going to take care of this baby and his 4 other kids. I'm like, with his personality, he's probably abusing and cursing all these other girls. That is a typical. So for him, he's a toxic individual already, walking around depositing toxic energy to these poor young girls who don't know any better. So I'm wondering, how do we get ourselves into this position, into these situations where we have unbalanced relationships? How do we value ourselves on a daily basis? That way, nobody can come to you and speak to you less than. Be it boys or girls. How can we lead a life of confidence and excellence where nobody can come and speak to you like you have no brains? Even if you only have $1 in your account, you walk around like you're $1,000,000 worth. I think it has to do with self-worth and self-esteem, and how much value we are to ourselves to attract those who would add value to our lives. You know what I'm saying? It has to do with us being valuable within ourselves. Like Oprah says, and I said in my live video on Monday, human beings, not just men, not women. I can't talk to dogs. I don't know what self-esteem dogs have. That's a side funny joke. How can we fill ourselves up before we're able to pour into somebody else? I believe that so much. because I still do it. Sometimes I have no energy. Like today, I made I made lunch for my husband. At the time I made that lunch, I had no energy. I literally had no energy. I could have said, babe, you know what? Go buy a burger. I'm going to go take a nap or go sleep. I didn't say that. I could have said it. But how come? How come we let ourselves in these toxic situations? And I think it's because we undervalue ourselves. I think we deal with self-esteem issues already, and we give power to these people who don't know our value, and they come and they ride on us because they can and because we let them. And before you find out that before you settle to accept that you're in a toxic relationship and start to act on it, it's gone far. So how do we get balanced from an unbalanced relationship? Is anybody there? Anybody has anything to add? So I'm not just yapping. Another thing that Google, my sister, says is constant judgment. Constant judgment, whether it's in any relationship, where somebody will see you and not see the best in you and keep bringing up what you have shortfalls in. Where you will do something fantastic and somebody will only see the bads in what you said or what you did. That's that's constant judgment. We have 3 amazing people in the house. Thank you so much for being here. If you're still here, give me a thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kukuraya, what did you say? Or no? What do you mean? Sorry. What are you saying, Kukuraya? Google says persistent unreliability. That's a mutual reliability is really important to building trust in a relationship. Okay, thank you so much, Kukuraya. You said and no. What do you mean by that? Something I said? Okay, okay. Thank you so much. All right. So, non-stop narcissism. Non-stop narcissism. Loaded, you just have negative energy all around you. Just negative. In anything, it's hard to see something positive. It's always negative, right? Then lack of communication. I believe if a relationship lacks that clear-cut communication, that is a sign of toxicity, whether you like it or not. I'm just saying this out loud. Because yes, you have different personalities. Yes, okay, Raya. Yes, you have different personalities, but there has to be, if the relationship is founded on love and trust and respect and regard and of progress, there isn't a reason why you cannot have a clear-cut communication, no matter what, because you should be on the same boat, right? You should be on the same boat in pretty at least 90% of what you guys are doing. You should be on the same boat. I know what you're doing, you know what I'm doing. But if I don't know what you're doing, you don't know what I'm doing, that's a sign of, it sounds small and maybe irrelevant, but it's a sign of toxicity in the relationship. Another one is, yes, continuous disrespect. And it's really bad when the person doesn't even know they're disrespecting you, right? When they don't know. And then mutual avoidance. Something tiny happens, you guys avoid each other. That is already a sign of toxicity. It's not going, listen, If you are in a relationship and you can count 2 to 4 of these signs that I have mentioned, you are. I keep looking down. I'm supposed to be looking at the camera. If you have 2 to 4 of these signs of a toxic relationship, you have to sit down with your partner. First of all, you have to do a self-assessment. What in God's name am I doing here? To what value is this human being to me? In all areas of your life. Spiritually, what's the value of this human being to you? Financially, what is the value? Yes, do the self-assessment. Listen, it's your life. It's important that you do that self-assessment. You know what I mean? You do the assessment simply to say, okay, here's what I am. Here's where I am today. I'm with this person. Emotionally, how valuable are they to me? How valuable are they to me? Financially, spiritually, psychologically, physically, right? How valuable are they to me? So then what do you want out of that? Because if you understand this and you guys talk about it, then there shouldn't be any minor, like petty things that are happening. You guys already know where you are. It's important. Like I always believe husband and wife, my husband should not go out there and do something to embarrass, to something that's disgraceful, because he's disgracing all of us. And same as me, I shouldn't go out there and do something disgraceful because I would disgrace him as well. So if we both know that, then we go out with caution. We act with caution in our communication with others, in our attitude and everything. I should not do anything at all to make you, as my partner, question what I'm doing, because that brings distrust. Distrust is a toxic element of a relationship. If I cannot trust you when you say A or when you say good morning, I got to go outside and check to see what the weather is looking like before I believe you. That's already a problem. So I think people get into relationships without asking themselves true questions. But it's just not about relationships though, like man and woman and all that stuff. It's about human beings, human relation, right? You have the TV. You have the TV. Huh? It's about it's about relationship. I've had a toxic workplace. Woo! I was in a toxic environment. I can tell you this. I have to have next week is going to be on the same topic because I really want to hear. I will do more sharing and more. I'm more letting more people aware of the topic, and we'll have like a episode 2 um, of this topic. Is essential because we have children, and you want to raise your child to have self-confidence to where they don't fall for any guy who says I love you, you're beautiful. No, like I tell my girls, you're already beautiful. So when a guy comes and says you're beautiful, thank you. That should not be the basis of which you now say, okay, because he said I'm beautiful, then I like him. No. At what level are you guys on? Like finances. You have to know about finances. Like now, if I have to do my life over again, shoot. I want to learn more about finances. So I should be with somebody who knows about finances. That way we don't make grave mistakes. I want somebody to be financially responsible. That's important to me. So we have to draw. So why I want to have this topic for next week again, because it's a topic that has hands and legs. And I want people to be engaged talking about it because it's important. And ceaseless control issues. I was with somebody who hacked into was so insecure that he hacked into my email and emailed all my guy friends to see who has feelings for me. And these guys had feelings for me. I didn't know, but based on what this person I was with emailed them, They thought it was me, vibing with what they thought about me. So he went ahead to pursue that with them and then eventually called me a whore. I didn't know anything about that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And to me, if you go behind me to do things that are not even normal, not even natural, just to prove a negative point, that is toxic already. Why do we stay? I'm not saying you must go get a divorce, but what must you do? You have to find yourself. You have to tell yourself, nope, this is not for me. No, you were not to speak to me that way. No, you would not treat me like that. No, you would not have this in my face. You know what I'm saying? Like you would talk to yourself inside yourself to get yourself back and say no. So back to that girl at the court, the paternity test show or courthouse, and the judge was asking her what she's gonna do. She said she doesn't know what to do. She's not able to work properly because she doesn't know where to keep her child. And she doesn't want CPS to come get her child the way she was gotten by the CPS, and she was all over the place. She doesn't even know who her siblings are. She doesn't even know where her parents are. And she doesn't want that generational cycle of having kids with a man who doesn't want you, and then you can't handle the child, and then you go to the state, and you just keep bouncing back from the state back and forth until you age out. You age out, and you're thrown into the world where you're supposed to be sane. She says she hasn't done drugs. The only bad thing she has done was get pregnant for a guy who never loves her, and she doesn't know what to do. I mean, I was like, jeez. I'm like, somebody pick that girl up, let her go train herself and look at herself and have daily affirmations of how strong she is, on how she's a wonderful child of God, and how confident she is, and how she's the righteousness of God in Christ, and how she is powerful in her right, and how she is a complete, beautiful woman. Somebody needs to affirm that to her because she has never had that spoken to her. And this girl is beautifully gorgeous. And the baby is just amazing. I think it was a mixed race kid. She's the, you know, and the child is just completely beautiful. And here's what she has to deal with. And the judge kind of lets her go. If she does anything after that, I don't know. But I'm like, such people should have, the show should have, or there has to be that external assistant to girls like her. So because of that baby, she can't go to school. But if somebody picked that girl up with her daughter, she can maybe go to medical school or law school or something. I don't care what she does. She could be sewing clothes for all I care. But that she makes something of herself. Listen, we are more powerful than we know. And nobody should make you feel less than because you are powerful. Nobody should make you, because of their stress, because of their negativity, because of their insecurities, and because of their rubbish and bad energy. Nobody should make you feel smaller than you think you are. Nobody. You are not allowed to make anyone make you feel small, regardless of the mistakes you have made, regardless of how you may look, regardless, whatever it is, whatever mistakes you may have made, should not let somebody come and remind you of those mistakes and then treat you like ish. No. If you let them do that to you, they will keep doing that to you. So when we leave this live stream, if you know somebody who's going through stuff, call them up, say, how are you doing? Give them a listening ear, because sometimes they just want to talk. If you are somebody who has gone through toxic relationship, don't go back to it and say, oh my God, I can't. No, look at it, look forward, and move on as a stronger person. Yes, Cook with Raya says, we are right. We are the righteousness of God in Christ, and we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Nobody can tell you otherwise. No one. We shouldn't let ourselves, men or women. I mean, I said I'm watching these movies when I have time, and I'm seeing the men being treated bad or the women being treated bad. I mean, I've lost, in the past 4 years, I've lost 3 friends through marital stress or marital abuse, and they were beaten to death. One of my friends says she's a deaconess in church, so she didn't want to leave her husband, who has been beating the crap out of her for years. She said she's a deaconess in church, so what will her followers think and what will her disciples? I'm like, well, except they're following you to the ground. I mean, I hadn't talked to her in a while, but when I heard that was the reason, I was like, well, I wonder where those people are, those mentees are. Her husband, who I bet once loved her, they had a wedding, they had a life, they had kids and all that good stuff, changed on her from being insecure to where she's doing things of God to being really a bully and bullying her. And then from bullying her to, he beat her to death. Her kids then were, I think, 5 and 3 years old, or 4 and 2. And she's gone. She is dead and gone. And she did not deserve that at all. So do not, whether you're a man or a woman, do not take insults because you're in a relationship. Do not make excuses for somebody who's acting negative towards you, to your family. Your family comes and tells you, don't marry that person or don't be with that person. No, I want to be with him. I love him. I love him. Not everybody will see that as an advantage to take care of you and shut the family up. Some people just come to really, really mess you up. We shouldn't let ourselves be in toxic relationships. We should not. We should not let ourselves be in relationships that we are not appreciated for who we are. We should not engage in or be in an environment where we are not honored and we are not loved and we are not seen. Yes. The emotional and the physical and all of them, they add up. It's normally the person who's bullying is normally a person who's insecure with themselves. There is, misery loves company. So they want to be miserable and bring a company to join them and sit and then enjoy their misery together. That's not acceptable. You go ahead and be miserable. Why may I go find my life? I'm straight up. So it's prayers, it's getting to know who you are and learning to draw a square, a circle around you. Have boundaries. You have to have boundaries. You have to have, okay, these things I can take, these things absolutely not. I'm not taking it. You know what I'm saying? If somebody has drama, let them stay with their drama because you are drama free. And people with less drama or no drama will come your way instead. Toxic relationships have persistent self-betrayal. You find yourself changing your opinions and what you want to do based on what somebody else is doing because you don't want trouble. You don't want, oh my God, no. Be you always. Be strong always. Let no man or woman stick their hand in your eye and let you know that they are boss of you. Nobody's the boss of you. Only God is. And the earlier you know that, the better it works out for your life. I hope you guys are thumbs in the life. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So this has been amazing. Nobody wants to come up and add. Cookwood Raya, you want to come on and add something to this, or should I let you be? Esther's Corner, you want to say something? Or Tiffany? Would you guys want to say something before we close down the live? I appreciate you being here. This was an amazing topic, and we will talk about the same thing next week. Toxic relationships. Next week, maybe, what's the resolution to it? For me right now, I would say from this show is for women who are in that situation to learn self-belief. Believe in yourself. I can do this. I don't have to be here. I don't deserve this action. This person does not deserve me. I'm too good for this. You start to talk to yourself. Like I always say, I step out of myself. Okay, I step out of myself to view my life, and this is not for me. This is not where I should be. And you take all the responsibilities and you take all the consequences and you handle it because you're prioritizing yourself. Why do women get bitten, get all kinds of things, and we hang in there because we're believing in what the Bible says? So I appreciate. Okay, I understand, Kukurayo. If nobody else is coming on, I'm gonna go ahead and close the live stream. If you don't have each other, go ahead and glow and grow together. I love being here. This is my second or third time using StreamYard. I'm still learning. I appreciate you all being here to support and be engaged in this wonderful topic. I hope that you get awakened. I hope that you get inspired, empowered, and motivated. And that's the intention of this show. This is episode 2 of One with Ejeni. One with Ejeni, one meaning only now exists. So yesterday is gone. Today carries the treasure for tomorrow. We can't do anything about yesterday, it's gone. And your tomorrow will turn out fantastic depending on what you put in today. So only now exists. So thank you so much for being here. It's really a 1 hour. It's really a 1 hour show every Friday. We have different topics. We're gonna talk about the same topic next week, but I'm gonna try and bring a speaker on here, and hopefully you guys, all ladies, will be ready to come on live and speak and share something. All right. So the last thing I want to leave you all with is don't ever feel unworthy. You are worthy of being who you are, and even better. You are a woman or man of excellence. You are a woman or man of abundance. Money comes to you easily, effortlessly. Love comes to you easy and effortlessly. Life, happiness, joy comes to you freely and effortlessly. Let's stay motivated. Let's stay inspired. Let's open our eyes and be awakened, and let us empower ourselves. And nobody can tell you who you are except you. I love you guys. I thank you much for your support. Meet me here every Friday at 6 Central Time, and we'll have a special guest next week. God bless. Be safe and take care. Thank you for coming. Don't forget to like and hit the thumbs up, and don't forget to share as you please. Thank you so much. You will have a wonderful day.